so just going to correct the homework, which was exercise 1.3, question 6 to 9. Okay, so here I have D is equal to the whole numbers from 4 to 9 inclusive, and E is even numbers between 1 and 15. The first thing I was asked to do in part A was list the elements of D and E. So D is equal to whole numbers from 4 to 9 inclusive, so it means it includes them, so 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then E is equal to my even numbers between 1 and 15, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. That's set D and E. Part B asks me to show these, show the sets D and E on a Venn diagram. Okay, so my two circles, going to draw it out. Okay, this I'm going to call D, and this is going to be set E. So remember the first part I told you always have to see what they have in common, okay, because we fill in my intersection first, okay. So cross off 4, cross off 4. 4 is in common to both, so it goes in the middle part, okay, my intersection. 6 is in D and 6 is in E, okay, so I put that in my intersection as well, 6. And then I have 8 is in D and 8 is in E, so I put in 8 here, okay. Anything that's left over in D will come out here, and anything that's left over in E will come out here, okay. So I have 7 left over, and I also have 9 left over in D, okay, so now we're finished. And now in E I have 2 left over, so I put in my 2. I have 10, 12 and 14, so I put them in as well, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so that's my Venn diagram part B completed. Then it says list the elements of D, U, E. Okay, right, so this here stands for my union, and my union is everything inside the two circles. Okay, so I have 7, 9, 4, 6, 8, 2, 10, 12, 14. But remember, I like putting them in order, so I'm going to start now from smallest to largest. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. Okay, and that's D union E. Okay, the next one then, part D, asks me for D, N, E. So that's my intersection. My intersection is my middle part of my Venn diagram. Okay, it's where they overlap. It's what they have in common. So it's in both set D and E. So that's here. And I get 4, 6, 8. And that's it, completed. Part E asks me for the hashtag D, okay? We know in maths that hashtag means cardinal number, okay? So cardinal number is the number of elements in that set, okay? So all of these elements inside here are in set D. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer is 5. Then I have F asks me for hashtag D intersection E. Okay, so we've just looked at my intersection is what they have in common in both of them. So it's my middle part of my circle. So my cardinal number of that is 1, 2, 3. And that's question 6 completed. Okay, so here I have P and Q. Okay, so I'm asked to represent P and Q on a Venn diagram. So the first thing I need to do is I always have to fill in my intersection, my middle part. And I fill that in by finding out what they have in common. So P has 1 and Q has 1. So I'm going to put in my 1 in the middle here. Oh, I forgot to label this P. This is set Q. Okay, then I have P has 3, Q has 3. So I'm going to put in my 3 here. And finally 5, 5, and I put in my 5 here. Okay, whatever is left over, so my 2, 4 and 6 are left over, so they're going to go into set P here, 2, 4 and 6, because they're in the set P only. Okay, and set Q only I have is 7. Okay, then I'm asked to list the elements of P, U, Q. Okay, so the union is everything inside of my 2 circles, so that symbol, the U, stands for union. So everything inside of my 2 circles, then I have, so I'll start here, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5, 7. But remember, I like having them in order from smallest to largest, so I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, part C then asks me for P intersection Q. Okay, so the N stands for intersection, and my intersection is my middle part. It's what they have in common, so it's what's in both sets, and I have 1, 3, 5. Okay, that's question 7 completed. Okay, so question 8, it tells me that the 2 sets A and B are defined as follows. So A is the set of students in the class who study history, and B is the set of students in the class who study geography. And I'm asked to describe in my own words the following set. Okay, right, so A union B. So I know if I was to draw this out, my Venn diagram like this, okay, this would be set A, this would be set B. Okay, right, these are the people that study history. Okay, so everyone inside here studies history. Okay, and everyone inside here, B, set B, studies geography. So A union B is everyone who studies history, or everyone that studies geography, or they could study both. Okay, so it's everyone who studies history or geography. Okay, then I have A intersection B. Okay, so intersection B is this middle part here. Okay, and A intersection B is people who study both geography and history. So they study the 2 of them. Okay, so that's explained in my own words. Then I have question 9. So it says the set S is shown in the Venn diagram. Below it has 5 elements. Some students were asked to write down subsets of S that have 3 elements each. Owen writes down the subset A, C, D. Okay, so we need to remember what is a subset. Okay, so a subset is a smaller group within a larger group. So 1B is a smaller group inside of first year. Okay, so everybody in 1B is also in first year. So that is a subset. It's a smaller group within a larger group. So now I'm going to give out some examples. Okay, so this is the set S. Okay, and one subset that Owen has wrote down is A, C, D. Okay, I could write down B, A, C. Okay, I could also write down D, E, C. I could write down A, C, D. I could write down E, D, B. Okay, as long as you have 3 different elements used, that is a subset. Okay, because it's going to be a smaller group within a larger set, right? So any 3 elements in here, as long as they're not repeated, is a subset of the set S. Then part B asks me to explain why this is not a subset. So Cleaner writes down A, B, W. Okay, and I need to see why is that not a subset. Okay, right, so A and B are in here, so they are going to be a subset, but I don't have the element W inside in here, so that's why it's not a subset, because W is not an element. Okay, so W is not an element of the set S of S. Okay, so that's why that is not a subset. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce you to the universal set. So this is on page 9 of your books. Okay, in your copy I want you to write down that yellow, the little yellow box on page 9. Okay, so it's this here. So it says the universal set is the set that contains all elements under consideration. Every set is a subset of the universal set. Okay, so far girls, we've just had the Venn diagrams and we've dealt with sets. Okay, but now we're going to deal with something new. Okay, so what we have here is we're going to draw a rectangular box. Okay, and inside in it I am going to have my Venn diagram. This here, so I have a capital U outside here, that stands for my universal set, and inside here I'm going to have my Venn diagram. Okay, right, everything that is not inside my Venn diagram, okay, so if I have a set and there's something not inside my Venn diagram, it comes out here into the universe. Okay, so that means that everything is a subset of the universe. Okay, so the universe is my big set, okay, and everything must fall into my universal set. Okay, so here I have an example. So it asks me to represent the following sets on a Venn diagram. So I have my U, okay, so my capital U stands for my universal set now, okay, so that's everything inside my box is going to go in here. Right, I have set A and B, okay, so I'm going to put this is A, this is B. Okay, so I'm going to deal with just A and B first, and then we'll look at the universe after. Okay, so like the previous times, okay, so you always fill in your intersection first. Okay, so your intersection is found by seeing what do they have in common. Okay, so both set B and set A have 4, so I can fill in my middle part. Okay, nothing else is in common, so if they have nothing else in common, 2 and 3 is left over, so I put 2 in set A and 3 in set A, they're gone, and I do the same with 5 and 6, okay, and 5 and 6 goes out here. Right, now I need to check, okay, with my universal set, is every single element in A and B inside in it, okay, right, I have 1, okay, and I don't have 1 in either set A or B, so 1 has to come out into the universe, okay, and I can cross that off. I already have set the element 2 in my set A, so I can cross that off, it's already inside there. I already have my 3, so I can cross that off. I already have my 4, so I can cross that off. I have my 5, I have my 6. 7 is not in set A or B, so that means it falls out here into the universal set, okay, and that's where 7 goes. Okay, so now I'm going to leave you with a few questions to complete. So this is question 1. So from the given Venn diagram, list the elements of each of these sets. So A, so you'll be listing everything inside an A. Right, so I'll help you with this one. Just first of all, we have 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And you're now going to put them in order. The same with B, my A intersection B, my A union B. Question 2, then you have the set A, set B, and you need to draw out your Venn diagram and answer these questions here. Okay. Question 3, then you need to answer these questions over here, and question 4, you're going to be drawing out your Venn diagram, but because I have a U here, that means my universal set is included. Okay, so anything that does not fall into A or B goes outside here in my Venn diagram. Okay, so make sure we complete those questions, and also that yellow box on page 9, the universal set, I want you to put that into your notes copy, and that's all you have to do. So I'm just going to bring this up for a moment so we can see all the questions together, and you can pause it here.